Hi, welcome back to the C&T Auctioneers YouTube channel. Today we're just doing a really short video for you. These are all items that are coming up in our July Fine Militaria sale. What we've tried to do today is we try to focus on, well, they're all WW2 German items, but what we've tried to do is focus on items that what we'd call more affordable for collectors. Because we all like to look at the really expensive, really exotic, really rare pieces, but they're not always in everyone's budget. And we're very much aware of that, especially at these current financial times the whole world is seeing. So we wanted to pick out some nice, affordable pieces that collectors, even old and new collectors, can afford to come into the collecting market at and really build themselves a nice collection without having to spend thousands and thousands of pounds for the real exotic type pieces. So we've basically selected a few German medals. We've got a very nice collection of their passes and soul books. Now these are very interesting pieces for collectors, and they've become a lot more popular over the last few years. A lot more people have now been able to read them and understand them thanks to a lot of YouTube videos and information online now. You can really learn a lot more about how to decipher soul books and their passes, something that was a lot more difficult years ago. So we've noticed a lot more of the younger generation of collectors are more collecting these pieces. And they're very personal things like soul books because they had to be carried on the soldier at all times. So they really are something that's been there and done it, you know. So with that being said, what I think we'll do straight away is get on with this lot here, which is a grouping, and it's a soul book grouping with the gentleman's medals and a citation for the War Service Cross. Again, hopefully you can see this, and we are going to do some close-up videos, pictures as well. But on this soul book, very common to find, you see it's had the swastika removed from the front cover. This was often because these were carried on being used after the war as well. So part of the denazification process, they had to remove the swastika. But as you go in, you can see, I mean, this one, unfortunately, the photograph has been probably removed from the front here. But it has the gentleman's name, his number, which would appear on his dog tag, his unit, blood type, his gas mask size, ranks, etc. on here. And the book, again, because these were carried on them personally, they're always very worn, and you often get to the case of where loose pages are. Obviously, for collectors, you want to make sure you try and get a book that's complete and hasn't got loads of missing pages. But they're very, very interesting, like I say, to go through. It has always personal information, the regiments he served in. So this soldier served in a signals unit. You see here, Battalion 441. And as you go through, it has all various pieces of equipment that he was being issued. Various other entries, inoculations. You can see here all his inoculations against diseases. This gentleman, this is about his eyesight. So you can see here he wasn't issued with any glasses or anything like that, so his eyes were perfectly fine. Again, as you go through his pay grades, and what collectors do like to see a lot of the time with these, and what is most easily translatable, is when you get to the back. So you can see the awards he was issued here. So this gentleman was awarded the Ost Medal for the service on the Eastern Front. Oops, sorry, the page has gone loose there. And then the War Service Cross Second Class with swords. And then towards the back of the page, these are his entries for leave. So, like I said, when he was out on leave, if he was stopped by any official, he could show this to show that he was allowed to be on leave and not absent from duty. But again, what's nice with this one is, as we saw in the book, it had the awards of the Eastern Front Medal and the War Service Cross, and they're both included here in with the lot, with citation for the War Service Cross and some other pieces of paperwork as well. Carrying on with the theme of medals, we have here lot 896 in the auction. This is the Italian Africa Campaign Medal. Very much a classic German medal from World War II for the troops that served in North Africa, fighting Monty in North Africa. And again, it's a nice example. Has got the original ribbon, but the ribbon has become detached from the medal. But again, it's a nice, when you get the later types which are in zinc, but this is a nice early example. Then again, some more medals here. So we have the classic Iron Cross second class. We've got quite a number of these in the auction, and these are a real good investment piece even for collectors. The prices of these have really rocketed over the years. And with this Iron Cross second class, what a lot of collectors like to look for are ones with the maker marks on the rings. We've got a mixture. We've got some with maker marks, some without in the auction, and they range anywhere from sort of, we estimate them between 80 to 120 for one without a maker mark, and up to 100 to 150 pounds for one with a maker mark. And they vary in terms of what the final hammer price will be, depending on the maker. Some makers are rarer than others. But again, always nice to see for collectors. I always personally like ones with nice dark patina around the frames, and it's always good to have one with an original ribbon. If you're looking for them, that would be my tip. Always look for ones with either nice condition or nice patina and original piece of ribbon. Now, going forward here again, we've got a couple of case medals here. So the first one I'll show you is the classic Mother's Cross medal, awarded to German females for giving birth to children during the period of the Third Reich. Again, nice example. This is for gold grade with the original full neck ribbon, and hopefully you can see in the image, you've got the maker for the medal is inside the lid of the case. They always have the nice blue leatherette case, the gold examples, with the outline of the award to the top of the lid. Again, something that people are now collecting by makers, which has become a very popular trend with collectors, especially new, younger collectors are liking to buy medals by different makers. And here, again, in terms of cased awards, we've got the Anschluss of Austria medal, 13th of March medal. Again, nice with the original ribbon and in a really nice original leatherette case with a gilt eagle and swastika to the lid. Again, these medals are what used to be referred to as sort of quite common German medals, but again, they're getting harder and harder to find. Like all these, as time goes on, stuff goes into private collections, and they are becoming harder to find. But this is a nice example in a nice case, so worth having a look at. That's lot 892 in the current auction. So moving on from the Austrian Anschluss medal, this example again is the entry into Czechoslovakia medal, also known as the 1st of October medal. But what's nice with this one is it has what's known as the Prague Castle bar, and you get various sizes. This is the more smaller type Prague Castle bar, but it's all nice original one mounted to the ribbon. You can see the pins on the back there. Again, these are a pretty common medal, but nice to find with the Prague bar. That adds a lot of value to the medal. So a normal 1st of October you can normally pick up anywhere from about £40 upwards. And now with the Prague Castle bars, they do increase the value of them. Again, have a look on the website and you'll be able to see the price we've got on that one. And you may have noticed we mentioned a few times in the soul books, etc., the award of the War Service Cross, or War Merit Cross, as it's also known. KVK is the official term in the German abbreviations of the awards. Now this is a War Service Cross first class example with swords, so for sort of combat service, and it's a really nice example. When you're looking for these, again, I always would suggest you try and buy the best you possibly can. There are some later ones in the zinc metal, which are not as popular. I always like these early ones where you've got some nice frosted finish to the highlights of the award. And again, always look for one, if you can, with the original pins, suspension fittings on the back. This one is, I believe, unmarked, but again, sometimes they're marked, maker marked on the pins or just below the catch. This example is an unmarked one, but again, it's a pretty good example for one of these, so well worth looking at. And again, these are an award that always used to be slightly less desired than the Iron Cross. But recent years, these have become very popular again. We've helped a lot of good reference books that have come out recently on a lot of the German awards, especially the more common awards. It really has pushed a new collecting market for them. So yeah, well worth having a look at if you can find one of these. Keeping with medals, here we have the 8-year Police Long Service Medal, housed in the original green card box of issue. The box has a little bit of wear. You've lost a couple of the side pieces on, or one side pieces on this example. But again, you can see with the silver tooled 8 in the circle to the front of the lid of the box. But again, it's a nice medal, this one, with the ribbon, nice frosted sort of silver finish on the award. You can see here for true service in the Polizei with the number 8 for 8 years. And again, there's the different grades for the police medal. This is the only example I think we've got in this cell. I'd have to have a look at the catalogue, but again, you get the 8, the 12, and I think the 25-year police medal. So again, it's a nice award, this, and have a look on the website. Say it's valued relatively conservatively, I would have said, but it's a good chance for you to get an original cased example. And whenever you're buying German awards, always try and buy the best you possibly can, especially if they are the more, what you'd call the more collectible, lower grade examples. The better one you can buy as an investment purposes, it's always better. Sticking with medals, like I was saying earlier, about maker marks, we have a nice Eastern Front medal here with the original paper packet of issue, ribbon, and the medal, which you can see on the ring. Hopefully we'll be able to pick this up on the pictures. You'll be able to see it has the maker's stamp onto the ring there. And then if you turn over the back, the paper packet also has the maker mark here. Again, hopefully we should be able to show you that in the pictures on this video. The packet is a little bit worn, which you always will expect to find often because they are only paper, and so they do wear, but it is a nice original example, and you can see here printed medal for the winter in Ostend 41-42, so the Eastern Front, or what was referred to quite commonly years ago as the frozen meat medal. So, but a nice medal, this, and again something that's becoming more and more desirable as collectors try to look for various makers. I'll show you another soul book here. This is quite a nice one. This is lot 1073, and this is why collectors like these. So again, like I said earlier with the other example, you have the denazification on here. We have 2 original pictures of the holder with his better half there, and this soldier was serving in an artillery unit. He was an NCO, and again you've got a lovely uniform picture of him here, as you can see. Again, same sort of details. You've got his blood group, gas mask size, etc. Name, personal details. But he was serving in an artillery regiment that was in Normandy, and his regiment was almost completely wiped out at the Falaise Gap. So it's a very interesting unit. He himself was wounded. And again, if you read the description, you'll be able to find more detail and study the pictures we have on the website. You'll be able to see a lot of the information. Again, here you've got his equipment that was issued, etc. As you go through, there's all various pieces of information about his career. Again, his inoculations against diseases. Again, his eyesight was pretty good, quite handy for an artillery officer. And yeah, so it's a really quite nice. These are all his wounds and stuff that he had. So it's a good a soul book, this rather, with interesting history. And again, I think we can see you've got a Führer prize, basically, so like a Führer commendation almost service. And then you've got again the awards. You've got the Ost medal, various other medals here you've got in here. KVK second class, etc. But have a look on the website and you'll be able to see a lot more of the information that's in this, and you'll be able to read our description. So that's again a nice soul book, and collectors always like looking for ones which again have got interesting history, or soldiers who are involved in various actions which are more popular than others or famous. So obviously like the Normandy campaign, and on the Eastern Front you've got Demyansk and Kursk and all those sort of Battle of Stalingrad and all those sort of actions that were famous from World War II are really popular with collectors. Keeping with the soul book theme is this, which is probably goes against a little bit what I said about in terms of lower value type pieces or more affordable pieces. This is an SS soul book here, but what's rare with this one is it's actually awarded to or issued to an officer. Now SS soul books are rare anyway, but to find ones to officers are really rare. It's got a lovely uniform photograph of him here, which you can see wearing the SS collar patches, all his rank details, and again, all his personal information. Now, this officer was a medical officer, so he served in a medical unit of the Waffen SS. So, although it's a nice and a rare example, there's not huge amounts of entries in it, but what is in it is very nice to see. And again, if you go onto the website, you'll be able to see a lot more images. Maybe because he was only a medical officer, as I flick to the awards page, he only has noted in here the KVK second class with swords, so that's the War Service Cross second class with swords. But again, it's a nice entry. And what's nice with this one as well is you have this large format photograph of him here, again wearing his SS uniform with his officer's peak cap. Not something you often find with these. And like I say, SS soul books are really rare to find now. They're just not around. You just don't, compared to Army and Luftwaffe examples, you probably see 1 in every 50 at the moment. They're so hard to find and so desirable with collectors. And this one, like I said, is even more desirable because it's an officer's. So this one, again, I think we've got a value of about £800 to £1,200 on. That's mostly made up because he is an officer. But it's one, if you're interested in SS soul books, it's a good one to have. Okay, one of the final items I really want to show you today is this soul book, and it's a Deutsche Volkssturm issue soul book. So everyone knows what the Volkssturm was, the People's Army that Goebbels created at the end of the war to defend the German cities. Now these soul books are they're hard to find, as many were destroyed because obviously you didn't want to be captured with one of these. They always had a printed picture of the Fuhrer in the front. That was often removed, so to find one intact is really good. And like I say, so often with these, because they're so late, very few had any entries even entered into them. But this one is nice. It has actually got details in it. It's quite an early number 78. So it's got his name details in there. And the picture you can see here, it's issued 16th of February 1945. So really nice example of this with the Deutsche Volkssturm stamp for GAU 20. And it's got all the Deutsche Volkssturm 20 second company. So signed by command officers, etc. So again, you don't get loads of entries in these. So to find one with entries is really good. And yeah, it's just a really nice example. It's pretty, condition-wise, it's pretty near on mint. Yeah, if you're interested in the end of World War II and the defence of Germany, these Deutsche Volkssturm soul books are a really good piece. And yeah, I would say one of the better lots we have in the sale of the paperwork type of pieces. Yeah, so well worth having a look and look up these Deutsche Volkssturm soul books, because I really think they're a good investment piece as well. Again, we're going a little bit away from what we've shown you before, and this is the Afrika Korps helmet here, and that's the first pattern pith helmet. You'll see we have a second pattern helmet on the website as well for the auction, and you'll be able to see the differences. The main one is obviously it's the tan cloth on the first pattern, whereas the later one is the olive felt. Both original decal shields on here. And again, it's been there, a little bit of wear. You can see some of the sweatband where it's almost like a little bit of a dry rot, which is quite common with these. But again, it's a nice, been there, Afrika Korps worn sun helmet here. Loads of pictures you find of the German Afrika Korps wearing these helmets. So yeah, good example. And I think the estimate is in the region of about 300 to 500. But again, have a look on the website. It's lot 1031 in the July auction. Again, going on to the last couple pieces. Belt buckles. Now, these are very much collectible, and you get all the various organisations have them. So this is an example for an RAD enlisted man, made from aluminium, and again, pretty good condition with the original fittings on the reverse. Maker marking there, Assmann 36. So again, it's a good example, and these are very much affordable, these sort of belt buckles. You can pick these up anywhere from, or on our auction sites, We have them anywhere ranging from about £50 up to 100, 150, just depending on condition on maker. So they're very much an affordable original piece of Third Reich Militaria. And sticking on the last item with belts and buckles, which I did nearly forget, is this German Army combat belt. Again, similar to the RED, you've got an aluminium belt buckle, good original belt leather here with the original owner's name on there. Good combat used example, and these are very, very much desirable for collectors. And again, they're quite an affordable piece now, and ideal if you're making up any sort of mannequin or display of a German combat soldier. So, well, that's all we've got time to show you today. But like I say, if you go onto the website, we've got lots of Third Reich Militaria, as well as a lot of other militaria as well, covering all periods in history. This sale takes place on Wednesday the 19th, 30th to 20th of July. Live bidding takes place via our own website, which is the C&T Auctioneers website, which you can find in the link in the bio. Have a good look on. You can see lots of different items. You can see what's got bids and what hasn't got bids. And yeah, you should be able to pick up a nice original piece of history, and you don't have to spend thousands and thousands to acquire something. Have a look on there. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to build up our YouTube channel and our promotion through YouTube. So it'd be great if you could like the video, share it, subscribe to us, and hopefully we'll be doing more videos from C&T Auctioneers covering all pieces that we sell, not just military. We do toys and dolls and antiques, collectibles as well. So we'll be having lots of videos on our YouTube channel focusing on pieces. We also are going to try and do a little bit of a theme videos now as well with collectors. So if you have a collection that you'd like us to feature, please do get in touch with us, because we'd love to show people why people collect militaria or why people collect toys, and what, how they got into collecting. So we're going to try and do a little series about that, and yeah, hopefully you'd like to join in. So if you do, please do get in contact. Like I say, go onto the website, have a look at this catalogue, and we hope to see you again real soon. Thank you ever so much.